And our fourth school is the Stamford Charter School for Excellence. And they have been identified as an exemplary achievement gap closing school. And we will hear from Charlene Reed, the co-CEO of Excellence Community Schools, and Kevin Fisher, the principal of the Stamford Charter School for Excellence. And Charlene, please.
Congratulations.
Good morning, Commissioner, Chair, Vice Chair, all members of the board. This is coming full circle for me, because usually when I'm sitting in front of you guys, I'm asking for something and being told I can't have it. And then we get it. 10 years when I discovered that there was a huge achievement gap in Stamford, Connecticut, and we had a school in the Bronx, and I said, I think I can open up a school in Connecticut to address the same achievement gap. And I met with, at the time, Representative Miller, and she was like, I don't know about a charter school, but let's talk more about this. And I explained to her our model, which Mr. Fisher will share with everyone here. I explained just my passion, and she was a little hesitant, and she said, okay, you gotta prove this to me. And we started on this journey, and that was 10 years ago. And so I'm here to say thank you. It's been a tough experience, but it's all worth it, especially because I wanted to close the achievement gap. And so I cried when we were nominated for closing the achievement gap, because we all together stayed on the course. What you see in Stamford Excellence is a true community school. And so I don't believe we could do this work without every member of the community. Without the parents who are invested, without our state legislators, without the local businesses. Stamford Excellence is the only school on the west side of Connecticut, Stamford, Connecticut. The schools, through history were moved into another area, so that neighborhood did not have an elementary school. And so being able to have a school, a local school, neighborhood school, where kids can, some walk to school, I felt was important. I also felt it was important because when you have a school in the neighborhood changes. And we've been able to see change because now there's investment in the neighborhood. So that's super important for all of us and our parents, community development, and also partnering and working with Stamford School District. I have a great relationship with Dr. Lucero. And so I'm just overjoyed. The only piece of sadness here is that I'm not here to celebrate this with my brother, Q Williams. And so he was our community engagement manager. He worked, the three of us, we were the triad, to open up the school, started from scratch. And so one of our last conversations, he said, we're gonna do this. He was like, we got this, like just get ready for Washington, D.C. He was like, we're gonna do this. And so we were heartbroken, and just a strange story. The day of, Kevin, if you can share what happened.
So the day of the award ceremony, I wake up at 4:30 because I'm sure we all can't sleep. But I look at my phone and I have a reminder from Namely, which is a app we used to use for clocking in and HR and things like that. And it was a reminder that Clinton Phipps's birthday was on November 24th. So Q Williams, wherever he is right now, is telling me I'm still here with you and we did this together. So that app hasn't worked in 5 years. So
we don't know why he got that email. We have not used that app. We don't use that payroll system. But for some reason, he got that email in the morning, and we were like, okay, you're here. I see you're here. So that is the only sadness that I experienced, that he's not here physically to celebrate with us. And then I'll pass over to Kevin so he can talk a little bit about our school.
We opened Stamford Excellence in 2015 with the belief that every child should have access to high-quality education, regardless of where you live, your economic status, how disadvantaged you are, especially in that area of Stamford that's historically underserved. We opened in 2015, pre-K to first grade with 168 students. Last year, we graduated our first 8th grade class. We've grown to 560 students, pre-K to 8th grade, which was really special seeing those first graders that started with us 8 years ago, and being able to give them options for high school. It wasn't just the 2 options that are in Stamford. They went boarding, public, Catholic, private. Their eyes were open to all these different options that were out there for them. And, you know, we're going to continue to do that with every graduating class, and we're going to track them through high school as well because, you know, then that option comes. Part of our mission is college wasn't an option. It was just a question of which one you want to go to. Our classes are named after universities and colleges all throughout the country every year. So it's not Mr. Fisher's class or Dr. Reed's class. It's Yale, it's Duke, it's New Haven, it's Hampden. So they know from that early age of 4 when they're in pre-K that which college am I going to go to by the time I leave here. And then some of the key design elements, you know, of our school is obviously we have very high academic standards. As many other schools spoken about, it's data-driven. We're constantly looking at data and test scores and how they're doing and what can we change and what do we have to reteach. Or we do have a longer school day. You know, our kids do wear uniforms, which they don't like, but it helps them focus because they come to learn and nothing else. So we're not worrying about who's got what Jordans on or which Nike Tech fleece. And, you know, we have a strong commitment to academic performance accountability, not only for the parents and the students and the teachers. It's a, you know, as Dr. Reed talked about, it truly is a community element to it. We have heavy parent engagement, you know, because they're their first teacher, they're their first educator, so they have to be involved as much as we are. And, you know, it's we want to have a strong commitment to lifelong learners, so they understand, and, you know, as Ajit talked about, we always can get better at something. We can always improve upon something, and that's something that we constantly preach to them.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for lifting up our friend youth. It's fitting that we're in this building today to celebrate that he's amongst us. Congratulations! This is wonderful to hear, and it's wonderful to sit with and hear from you, Dr. Reed, as the visionary of what this would be, and to be at this point right now. What's next? What are you working on?
To continue with, I call it phase 2, where we're working on continue to build up the community surrounding the school. So working with, continue to work with local businesses, partnering around economic partnerships, grants. It now goes to this next level where we're sitting around like, okay, how do we impact policy? How do we work together to change for the better of the neighborhood and the community? Working with the church that we lease our school with, working with the district to see if there are more partnerships that we can take on to help all students in Stamford, and hopefully later on Connecticut as we continue to outreach and partner with other schools and other districts.
Other board members, any questions?
My namesake, so that works. And so same way. I'm really so thrilled to see you sitting here and the work that you've done. And you've talked several times, you both mentioned families and parents in what you've talked about. And the fact that we know the school, the family, and the community are so important for student outcome and success. Our students come into schools every day. They live in families, and they are part of communities. And so it makes sense that all those are working together to support them. And so important that is happening, and that you're highlighting that. And another area that I think I'd like to augment with and amplify for other school districts as well. That is so important that the family and community, they are a part of the work that's being done. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here under these circumstances, for us highlighting the work that you've done. And again, we're here to continue to support you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.